Hello and welcome to the national debate. I'm Madhadas Gopalakrishnan. Viewers, the budget was intended to stimulate economic growth and has ended up igniting a political firestorm. It sparked a fierce debate in Parliament this week with the opposition alleging discrimination and bias. However, the debate soon spiraled into one about caste and the opposition's caste census pitch. Earlier this week, former Union Minister Anurag Thakur made a comment about caste in Parliament, which was met with a fierce retort from senior leaders in the opposition, including Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav. Let's take a quick look at the fireworks in the House.
सर ओबीसी की बात जनगणना की बात बहुत की जाती है। जिसकी जात का पता नहीं वो गणना की बात करता है। जितना मेरा आप लोग इंसल्ट करना चाहते हैं आप खुशी से करिए, आप रोज करिए, मगर एक बात मत भूलिए, जाति जनगणना को हम यहाँ पास करके दिखाएंगे।
मैं महाभारत शकुनी ये सब बातें कह रहे थे, दुर्योधन तक यहाँ ले आई है। मैं केवल सभापति महोदय इनसे ये पूछना चाहता हूँ, आपने जाति कैसे पूछ ली है बताइए बस।
So while Akhilesh Yadav, Samajwadi Party chief, was quick to counter the Treasury benches saying jati kaise pooch sakte hain, let's take a quick look at the context in which these comments have been made. We've also seen Rahul Gandhi showing the traditional halwa ceremony in the parliament, of course, the finance ministry being displayed inside the parliament, and he claimed that OBCs, Dalits, Adivasis are not there in the budget team. Earlier, he referred to caste while speaking to distribution of resources. This is on the 9th of October 2023. This is one comment that has been made where he asked how many Dalits and Adivasis are present in our institutions and also, of course, in the room. On February 21st, 2024, he also asked a journalist, in fact, repeatedly asking him about his name as well as his caste. And this, therefore, has become one of the talking points about whether there is some kind of hypocrisy that is being seen as far as the stand of opposition parties are concerned. Let's quickly open this up and take it across to our panelists. With us, joining us from outside, we have Guru Prakash, national spokesperson of the BJP. We also have outside Dr. Suresh Mane, advocate and president of the Bahujan Republican Socialist Party. Joining us here in our studio is Tushar Gupta, political analyst, Shantanu Gupta, who's an author. Also with us is Professor Subodh Mehta, national spokesperson of the RJD. Vivek Sailas is national spokesperson of Samajwadi Party. But my first question is to you, Tehseen. What's being stated by the BJP essentially is that there's a hypocrisy. You can't say and do one thing outside Parliament and have a different yardstick inside Parliament. How do you respond to that simple criticism coming from the Treasury benches?
The BJP, or as I often call them, the Bada Jhoota Party, only knows how to divert issues, and they will divert it on the issue of caste because they are against the caste census. Now let's go into, if I have to conduct a caste census or the government has to conduct a caste census, how will they conduct it? They will have to ask the caste. Asking a caste for upliftment is dramatically opposite from asking a caste to humiliate somebody. And let me give you a specific example. When the ex-honorable chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, Akhilesh Yadav ji, left his official residence, the official residence ka shuddhikaran was done. When he went to a temple, they tried to purify a temple. These BJP karyakartas. That is caste in a discriminatory way. When I ask what your caste is to uplift you, to see how you've been discriminated against, for example, and let me take the state of Uttar Pradesh. How many district magistrates today are from the SC or ST community? Let your viewers Google it right now. How many in Uttar Pradesh police commissioners are from the SC/ST community? Are they in proportion to their representation? In Karnataka, in Telangana, in Central University. I am saying this is. How will we address this problem? Central universities, how many vice chancellors are? This is a problem that our SC/ST community is facing.
There's a problem.
And we need to do the caste census. Now, just one point. The BJP promised after the 2011 caste census that it will be released in 2014 on the floor of the House. Rajnath Singh ji said then as BJP president, he agreed to this in 2014.
Okay.
Arun Jaitley ji agreed to it. Why aren't you doing the caste census? That is the simple question. Why are you diverting towards Rahul Gandhi's caste, Akhilesh Yadav's caste, Modi ji's caste? Do the caste census. Put your money where your mouth is. You're promised on the floor of the House. Why are you not doing it? And release the 2011 data?
Okay. Let me bring in Guru Prakash on that point. It's a pointed question towards the BJP. It's a position that has been taken in the past by the previous NDA government, where they have said, and Rajnath Singh, he is specifically referring to what he has said in 2018 when he was the then Home Minister, that data on OBCs will be collected. Later on, we have seen different stands being taken in August 2018 and in September 2021, where they finally informed the Supreme Court that the caste census data cannot be collected. The point being made here by the opposition repeatedly is that we had conducted this exercise, a lot of resources were used in that, but why did this government, if the UPA, if you can put the UPA on the mat for not releasing the data, why has the NDA not done the same if your commitment is there for all of these social changes? Guru Prakash.
No, Madhav, I think it is very important for us to realize, and Tehseen, my friend, has raised a very important point, that why there are no Dalit DGPs, why there are no Dalit officers, why there are no Dalit and Adivasi vice chancellors. I want to ask my friend Tehseen tonight. आज कांग्रेस की सरकार है. In Telangana, in Karnataka, in Himachal Pradesh, how many Dalit and Adivasi chief ministers are there? If you want to ask me, Tehseen, I will tell you. Chhattisgarh, Vishnu Dev Sai, Adivasi Mukhyamantri. Odisha, Mohan Maji, Adivasi Mukhyamantri. Madhya Pradesh, Deputy CM, Dalit CM, Deputy CM Jagdish Devada. Rajasthan, Deputy CM Prem Prakash Bairwa. This is called share in power. This is called bhagidari. And it is not your mistake. It is not your fault. The Congress party in this book has been categorically said. It's a book by a senior journalist. Isme Babu Jagjivan Ram, the tallest Dalit leader after Baba Sahib Ambedkar, out of pain and agony and frustration, he says, and I quote, "A Chamar can never become Prime Minister of this country." And why so? Because Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister, has said कि जगजीवन राम प्रधानमंत्री नहीं बनने चाहिए, वो हटेंगे नहीं. पेज नंबर 61 of this book. Point number 2, Jawaharlal Nehru in 1961, while writing a letter to the Chief Minister, he said, and I quote, that I oppose reservation of any kind. It impacts efficiency. It produces second-class officers. Point number 3, Rajiv Gandhi on the floor of the House in 1990, opposing the recommendations of Mandal Commission. He said, you have brought the country on the edge of caste wars. 2010, Pranab Mukherjee, as the head of the group of ministers, he denied putting the data of caste census in public domain. Point number 4, Sitaram Kesri, your president Tehseen Poonawalla, he was insulted at the Congress headquarters. उनको बाथरूम में बंद कर दिया था आपने. क्यों? क्योंकि वो ओबीसी से आते थे. आपको पचती नहीं है बात कि देश में पहली बार देश के इतिहास में आदिवासी की बेटी संविधान के सर्वोच्च स्थान पे बैठती है. You cannot accept the fact that India is becoming the 5th largest economy under the leadership of a prime minister who comes from an ati pichadi jati. This is precisely the matter. For you, caste and social justice is a matter of political opportunism. For us, it is a matter of opportunities. आज सत्ता में भागीदारी है. पार्टी हो, सीएम हो, डिप्टी सीएम हो, केंद्रीय मंत्री हो, आज एक ऐतिहासिक संख्या दलित पिछड़े आदिवासियों की है. And that is the reason, Madhav.
Since you've asked a pointed question to Tehseen, Guru Prakash, since you've asked a pointed question to Tehseen, I'm going to give him a chance, but I need to open this up. Yeah, I need to open this up as well, but Tehseen, respond to that. Historically, and I was going to bring in some of the points that he was making later in this debate, but since he has already referred to it, historically, whether it's Mandal Commission, whether it is, the implementation of it for 10 long years, it was not done, and all of this really going to show the track record and the commitment to social justice of the Congress party. In fact, Nirmala Sitharaman inside the parliament has, quoted Indira Gandhi and what was said at that point of time, during Indira Gandhi's time, na jaat par, na paat par, Indira ji ki baat par, mohar lagega haath par. From there to now, Congress has come a full 360-degree circle.
So let me answer you and Guru Prakash Bhai specifically, but I also want to give some examples. The viewers of Times Now will now see. I asked Guru Prakash ji a very specific question. So did you, Madhav, ask that there is a caste census that's done, the data is there, admitted, and they are not releasing it. I am saying Nehru ji is wrong, Indira ji is wrong, Rajiv ji is wrong. Today they are quoting them. They quote them selectively. They don't quote them for the other things they said. Now, who's in government for the last 11 years? These people. Did they make... Look, you're pregnant or not pregnant. You can't be half pregnant. Was a promise made to release the data or no? Yes. Not just in 2018. Even in 2011-12 when this caste census was done, after that it was said whichever new government comes will have to remove it after removing errors. Arun Jaitley ji said it. Why are you not removing the data? Today the data is that you remove it. What Rajiv ji did there, Indira ji did, Nehru ji did is not relevant today in 2024. Circumstances change. Let's come to the second thing.
Right.
K.R. Narayanan was the first Dalit president of India. The BJP opposed him. Does that make BJP anti-Dalit? But I'll tell you what makes BJP anti-Dalit as I end. The president of India, a tribal lady, very capable tribal lady, today is not invited for the inauguration of the parliament, and that is a shame. That is what the BJP... The vice president of India, one second, tells the Dalit leader of opposition, Kharge ji, that you are not fit to be a leader of opposition. Somebody else whose name is Ramesh should be. That is what the BJP comes in.
Come back
the
to the
RSS that has never had a Dalit chief and OBC chief today versus eloquence.
Tehseen. Let me bring in Guru Prakash. Guru Prakash, simple point on the release of the caste data. It's all very well for the BJP to criticize the Congress and question them as far as why the UPA government didn't release it. But your own leaders were demanding the release of the caste data. They said repeatedly in between 2014 and 2019, number of occasions that would be done. Why has it not been delivered? Pointed question, please. Pointed answer. Guru Prakash.
No. Madhav, Bihar government did a caste survey. Tehseen Poonawalla's Congress party was a part of it. It was BJP that released the data. I want to ask him, you have a government in Karnataka, you have done the survey, you have done the census, why not releasing the data?
Congress released it. Sorry, Guru Prakash.
Bihar caste survey is concerned, it was carried out under the leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Janata Dal United. And Tehseen, I want to ask you, Karnataka में तो आपने सेंसस किया हुआ है, आपने रिजल्ट क्यों नहीं आउट किया है? And Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar has said, Mallikarjun Kharge ji has quoted Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar on record and said कि आप आउट नहीं करोगे. Now where are you? And thank you Tehseen, my friend, that you have admitted कि राहुल गांधी को भी ऐसे आकर के बोलना चाहिए, मेरे पिताजी गलत थे, मेरे नाना गलत थे, मेरी नानी गलत थी. आप बोलिए जा करके. आप आरक्षण का विरोध करते हो, आप सामाजिक न्याय का विरोध करते हो, आप बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर को भारत रत्न नहीं देते हो, आप बाबू
Let me now open this up and bring in other panelists. Of course, you can come into the Karnataka point later. Yeah, Guru Prakash, I want the RJD spokesperson to respond to you, Professor Subodh Mota.
Look, it has been a settled issue in the Constituent Assembly that historically the exploitation is based on the caste. And that is the reason why the framers of the Constitution has incorporated the idea of equality, and especially Article 16, which talks about adequate representation and equal opportunity. From there on, India has moved from one threshold to another threshold. Right. But 1989 happens to be the year from where you can see that there is a pre-1989 era in India and post-1989 era in India. What is the difference? The difference is that few castes were there at the top, sitting in every department like an ice. And due to the heat of the social revolution and the reservation processes, that ice melted and the latest section of the society climbed upward. And from there on, Lalu Prasad Yadav ji is asking for a caste census, and during BP Singh regime, it was decided that in 1991 there will be a caste census, but the government gone. But when again Lalu Prasad Yadav came in the Devgaura government, again it was decided, and in 2001 again we see a BJP government, and there was no caste census then. Yeah. Then again third time when Lalu Prasad Yadav came to the UPA 1 in 2009, it was decided that in 2011 there will be a caste census, and it was done. Caste census, socio-economic caste census was done. The data was in front of us. The data was submitted on April 2014, and Manmohan Singh government, was out of the power. And then the BJP government came in, and that data never came out. And even in the parliament, Arun Jaitley said that the data is corrupt, we cannot publish it. But the Census Commissioner of India and the Registrar General of India said that 99% the data is no.
Okay. Let me bring in Tushar on this point. Tushar,
let me finish because
quickly conclude. Please, there are others also.
Yes, and the data is not released. Even in 2021, the Honorable Minister Nityanand Rai said that we don't want a caste census in 2021. And looking to the caste survey that Guru Prakash was talking about, the caste survey in Bihar, though yes, it was unanimously decided and passed by the House, but
let me paraphrase the question. Let me paraphrase the question for Tushar Gupta. Tushar, once I've understood your question, sir. Let me just paraphrase it for Tushar. Tushar, just quickly taking you through the quick timeline that I have over here. In July 2015, the provisional data as far as the socio-economic caste that was conducted during UPA2, the provisional data was released. In July 2016, an expert group to classify the data is formed. In August 2018, the government informs the Rajya Sabha that processing the caste data is delayed due to design issues, and the expert group could not be established. In September 2021, the Supreme Court is informed that conducting this particular caste census is ruled out. The point is that through the course of each of these stages, the opposition is alleging the government has shown that it's not serious, it has promised something and done something else. Please respond to that particular pointed question that's being raised.
The Congress wants to claim that it is the only national party that stands for a caste census. That is untrue. This government earlier in February stood for the subclassification within the SC and the ST groupings on caste. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta in the court said that we stand by the subclassification, we advocate for it. Yesterday, the Supreme Court overturned a 20-year-old judgment which prohibited the state from carrying out its own caste census. And yet, Madhav, the Congress's idea of caste census is very different from what the BJP was going for, which is the subclassification of SC/ST groupings at a state level. I'll explain you how. Firstly, when Rahul Gandhi goes around town saying, who is SC, who is ST, how many OBCs have, he's looking at an unreserved versus the reserved category. He's not looking at the inequality that is prevalent within the reserved category, which is what the Supreme Court spoke about, which is what the BJP has been talking about for the last few years. The Supreme Court said, compare, there is a son of an IAS who is an SC, there is a son of a manual scavenger who is an SC too. Can you put them on the equal footing? No, you cannot. And that is why the subclassification has now come in. Rahul Gandhi on the floor of the parliament, very agitated, says, "Hum jati janganna karwayenge." Well, the BJP has opened up a door for him yesterday. Why doesn't he start with the caste census in Karnataka, in Telangana, perhaps even in Himachal Pradesh, or the opposition partners can start in Tamil Nadu? Why not? Rahul Gandhi has a golden opportunity to walk the talk. Nevertheless, we also must understand, Madhav, Congress is also a party that is standing for reservations on religious basis. Page number 8, point number 6 of Congress's Nyay Patra hinted on minority reservations before this election. So when Congress says that we are batting for caste census, their idea of caste census is very, very, very different from what the Supreme Court is advocating, from what the BJP is going for, and that is what we should be focusing on.
Right. Let me bring in Vivek Sailas on this point. Vivek Sailas, it can't be that you have, as I was asking at the beginning to Tehseen itself, Akhilesh Yadav says, "Aap jati kaise pooch sakte hain?" So what Rahul Gandhi, by that yardstick, did in the Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, asking a journalist his caste, etc., asking him what is the caste of the owner, so on and so forth, is that acceptable?
And Akhilesh Yadav himself was cast multiple journalists many times.
It was inside the Lok Sabha, Madhav, and if you remember, the chairperson of the Lok Sabha at that same time said that no honorable member is allowed to ask the jati of any other honorable member inside the Lok Sabha. That is the thing. You're missing that.
So outside you can ask.
We are talking about Bihar at the moment. The spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party is there. They have passed a reservation of 65% for the SC/ST and the OBC after the caste census. When are they going to implement it? That is the first prime question that I'm going to ask. Because they can put it in the Schedule 9. What is the problem? They can put it in the Article 9 of the Constitution of India and it can be passed. It cannot be challenged anywhere. Why don't they? Because they are against the caste system and the caste census. That is why they are delaying it again and again, and they are trying, looking here and there. If we talk about our President, Honorable President of India, was she invited to the Ram temple inauguration? No, she was not. Why? Why? She was not even invited in the new parliament building that is leaking at the moment. We can see corruption in everywhere, whether it's temples, whether it's airports, whether it's the Lok Sabha building or the new building. So the Bharatiya Janata Party has nothing at all. They have nothing to say. If we come down to Uttar Pradesh, there were 69,000 vacancies were there. How many SC/ST and OBCs were given preferences?
Okay.
69,000. You are mistaken.
Okay.
How many of them have, because they are against the caste census, as Tehseen very rightly said.
Okay. Let me bring in Shantanu on that point. Shantanu, is it factually correct, the question that he is posing? And also there is a problem. There is a problem that at least two of the NDA allies, Apna Dal and JDU, are in favor of it. So what is holding the BJP back is a question. Is it not a legitimate demand if your own allies are demanding it?
I think I'll go back from where Dr. Guru Prakash and Tushar ended. There are complexity to caste census, like what is the purpose? Do you want to do it between Agada and Pichada, or do you want to see the anomalies within a particular caste? And Supreme Court also hinted the same. ये बिल्कुल clear हो गया. This is very clear that for Congress, caste census में खाने के दांत दूसरे हैं, दिखाने के दांत दूसरे हैं, because we have seen. And Dr. Guru Prakash very clearly shown that how Pandit Nehru was against it, Indira Gandhi was against it, Rajiv Gandhi was against it, and luckily Tehseen also agreed कि वो सब गलत थे. And now I think I should, through your channel, I want to request Rahul Gandhi, अब इनका पोस्टर यूज करना बंद कर दो. Because वो एंटी दलित है, नेहरू एंटी दलित है, Tehseen agreed to that, इंदिरा गांधी एंटी दलित है, Tehseen agreed to that, राजीव गांधी एंटी दलित है, Tehseen agreed to that. तो इनके पोस्टर यूज करना बंद कर दो, right? ना जात पे ना जात पे ना जात पे ना प्राइम मिनिस्टर ना जात पे ना बात पे ना जात पे ना बात पे वोट पड़ेगा हाथ पे. तो जात पे बात होनी नहीं चाहिए. यहाँ पे आपकी जात पूछे तो आपको प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. फ्रॉम केलकर कमीशन टू मंडल टू 2011 दे वर साइलेंट. अभी कर्नाटका का जब कास्ट सेंसस हुआ एंड समवन इंटरव्यूड खड़गे जी ने यू नो व्हाट ही रिप्लाइड, ही सेड बहुत पॉलिटिकल हो गया था पार्टी में, वो निकालना थोड़ा मुश्किल था. अब कर सकते हैं लोग, मतलब व्हेन द BJP government was there. So
Yeah.
they know कि caste census का topic तो लाते रहेंगे. We'll keep
Yeah.
bringing the caste census topic, but we will never release it.
Okay.
Right? We will say, oh, you will release it because
Yeah.
who will touch the hot potato? Who will touch the hot potato? Coming to 69,000. Just. So he said 69,000 भर्ती हुई यूपी में. Teachers, the teacher recruitment 69,000. अगर आप 27% reservation के हिसाब से लें, you will get 18,000 OBC teachers in UP. Out of the 69,000, 30,200 are OBC teachers.
Okay.
Time and again, SP comes and give a wrong data.
Okay.
And they can get RTI. They can get RTI more than
Dr. Suresh Mane is
30,000.
not
Half
here.
of them. Half
Okay.
of them are.
Okay, one moment, please. One moment. Vivek Salas, quickly. Yeah, quickly. Vivek Salas, respond to him.
Hey, it's absolutely fake. Then why the agitation
What
is
is
going
fake?
on?
What is fake?
आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 59,000 जो
उसमें
शिक्षक मंत्री की बात है, कुछ नहीं, आप अभी बैक चेक कराइए. Right now, going on, people are being lathi charged every day. They are sitting on dharna. They are sitting on what for? If they have got 30,000 jobs, the SC, ST and the OBC community, there was no need. Because the Bharatiya Janata Party is taking away their, legal rights. That is why they are on dharna and pradarsan.
Okay.
No, I think he's not even aware. He hardly goes to UP. I think out of those 69,000, 6,900 का problem है. That's in Supreme Court and the government and the
Let me come back to the larger question. One second. Let me bring in
more OBC and I'll give him the data.
Let me bring in Dr. Suresh Mane, please. He's not yet spoken. Dr. Suresh Mane, simple question. Over here, there is a difference in approach, says the BJP. They say that what the courts have, for instance, recently spoken about in terms of a difference, in terms of segregation, they've spoken about a creamy layer. And clearly, of course, those who come from, say an officer's son, even if they are from, SC, ST background, etc., they cannot be treated in the same way as somebody saying in a rural context of a lower economic strata can be. And so they say that there's a difference in approach in how Congress wants to approach it and how the ruling party wants to approach it.
First thing is that caste census and caste surveys are two different things. So let us not confuse with the one and the same. That is number one. Number two, whether the caste census is the requirement of a nation, we have to ponder over this issue, not in the context of only BJP and the Congress. Whether it is the required, that is a vital question we need to answer. And if you would like to have a database planning process, you need to have a data, whether in terms of the caste, in terms of economy, in terms of some other factor. You need to have a data. There is no doubt about it. In that context, for having no census data, both are equally responsible. Congress as well as the BJP, both are responsible. Now BJP talks about today the supporting the Mandal data, but BJP was the party who opposed the Mandal Commission report. That is also the fact. I don't want to enter into that controversial point. But since last 11 years, the BJP is in power. Now, who has to answer? The party in the power has to answer. And the party has to answer categorically whether they are ready to conduct the caste census nationwide. That is a vital question. And that BJP needs to answer. Why BJP is blaming here and there? And this caste surveys at the state level, they are not equivalent to the census conducted by the Home Ministry of the Government of India. And there is a fundamental difference in that also. And therefore BJP, if it at all favors the whole issue, let the BJP come forward and say on the floor of the parliament that we are ready to conduct the caste census data throughout the country. What is wrong in that?
Okay.
But BJP afraid that a Hindutva card doesn't work in the case of the caste data.
Okay.
There may be polarization, internal bickering, and the consolidation of in the name of Hindutva, whatever is happening now,
right.
BJP may lose that.
Okay.
And that is the prime fear of the BJP. And it is not my opinion, because some of the panelists may raise immediately question. It is not my opinion. This opinion was written by two stalwarts of the RSS in 2010 in the two newspapers in the Marathi. Two RSS stalwart, one was the MG Vaidya and second was the Bhaiyaji Joshi. They have rejected the caste census throughout the country. So RSS is opposed against the caste census,
Okay.
and therefore BJP have no courage to come forward and say
Okay,
that
that's a
they
big-
will conduct the caste census.
Okay, that's
since
a
it is
huge
required
allegation
for
you're making. I want
national
Guru Prakash to
planning
respond to it. Guru
level. That
Prakash?
is the basic issue.
Yeah, I got your point, Dr. Vane. Let me get Guru Prakash in on this. Guru Prakash, stalwarts of RSS have opposed the caste survey, and it's for ideological, political reasons, fearing a backlash that you're not instituting. It is an allegation coming in here from Dr. Suresh Mane. Please respond to him.
Madhav, I was very patiently listening to Dr. Suresh ji, but the point is, the fact of the matter is, if RSS opposed caste census, why did we go for caste census in Bihar? Did we go for caste census in Bihar or not? Answer me yes or no, Dr. Suresh. We went for a caste census. And for your kind information, sir, we are
Why
of the
not
firm
center?
opinion that
Why
caste
not
census...
center?
One by one.
Why
Let me
not
make his point.
center?
अरे सर मैं आपके बीच अरे डॉक्टर सुरेश डॉक्टर सुरेश सीनियर आदमी हैं आप
Dr. Mane,
मैं आपसे
Dr.
ज्यादा
Mane,
चिल्ला
one
सकता
by
हूँ
one,
माधव
one by
आप
one.
इंटरफेयर करो
Dr.
यार
Mane, one by one. Yeah. Okay, Guru
Dr.
Prakash, make your
Suresh,
point.
we can be louder than you, sir. We can be louder than you. Let's have a civil debate. All of us listen to you. All of us listen to you. Dr. Suresh, you are a senior person. You have quoted with example. I ask you a counter question. If our RSS is against the idea of caste census, why did we go for caste census in Bihar? We went for caste census in Bihar. All of us, including the RJD, Mr. Subodh Mehta from the Rashtriya Janata Dal, he said that unanimously a decision was taken that we'll go for the caste survey. The point is this. We believe, and we very strongly believe, that caste census cannot be the sole criteria to judge your commitment to the idea of social justice. RJD, for instance, for RJD, what is the share of power means? Lalu Yadav will be the Sarve Sarva. His wife will be the leader in the Vidhan Parishad. His daughter will go to the Raj Sabha. Another daughter will go to the Lok Sabha. One son will become the Deputy Chief Minister. Another son will become the Health Minister. Is this your idea of social justice? The real share of power is what is happening today. An extremely backward class becoming the Prime Minister of our country. 35% OBC at the Central Council of Ministers. More than 10 Vice Chancellors at the Central Universities. For the first time, BJP ND has ensured that IITs, IIMs will also have Dalit, OBC and ST.
Okay, Guru Prakash, I'm going to bring in the RJD spokesperson since you referred to his party. Professor Mehta.
Madhavji, Guru Prakash is highly obsessed with Mr. Lalu Prasad Yadav. That is the reason why every time he brings him all these, popular things which he is talking about. No, the fact of the matter is that caste census is a national issue. It is done under Home Ministry, and the BJP government on the floor of the House has said that we will not go for a caste census in 2021. The caste census 2021 is still on. You have to add only one column. Now, regarding Bihar, it was not census, it was a caste survey. And the caste survey, it was passed unanimously by the House, but it was not done during their time. Nitish Kumar and the Tejasvi Prasad Yadav came to Delhi, met Prime Minister, and then that was done. But on the other side, the BJP objected it in the Supreme Court, and they brought in Tushar Mehta, the Solicitor General of India, to oppose it. And now, when we have given a reservation to the the weaker section, then our member of parliament has asked a question. What is the whether the BJP want 9th schedule to be included in the caste survey should be included in the 9th schedule? What is what the answer has been given? The answer has been given that 9th schedule is under the purview of the state. It is not under the purview of an union minister.
So essentially,
this is the irony of
Tushar, what has happened in the state of Bihar cannot be equated to the center. Why is it being seen that there are dual stands of the BJP in the state and the center? And B, why is the BJP not wanting to institute this at the national level? Is there fear of some genuine backlash? That's the question coming in.
So I was hearing to Dr. Suresh, and he said that if the caste census happens, there might be a political disadvantage for the BJP. So indirectly, he's implying that every time the Hindus are united as a political bloc, the BJP stands to benefit. So are we to deduct that the Congress wants to divide up Hindus in the name of caste census to politically benefit out of it? That's the first point. Number two, every time Congress keeps talking about social justice, all their spokespersons, Rahul Gandhi, they manifesto about equity and whatnot. There is an economic perspective to the social justice also, which the Congress does not like to talk about. That is why we are talking about the inequality within the SC/ST groupings as well. If you're talking about social justice, will the Congress also agree that there needs to be the creamy layer, which will now be exempt from reservations in the SC/ST category as well?
Yeah.
The justices yesterday also observed, one of the justices said, if the first generation has availed a reservation, the second generation should not be allowed to go for it. Would the Congress agree to it? Because it's an idea of social justice.
Yeah.
And lastly, Madhav,
Conclude, yeah.
the Congress has still not spoken about the inequality within the SC/ST groupings. They have not spoken about it. So what is their idea of social justice? To only divide up politically? To only divide up Hindus politically or actual social justice?
I want Dr. Mane, I'm coming to you as well, Tehseen. Dr. Mane, the question is this. If the Supreme Court has upheld and recommended a creamy layer, what is the objection possibly to that? And isn't that the key priority area? Those who are economically deprived, shouldn't they get the resources or access to jobs or access to education first? What is the problem with that is a question being asked over here.
The number one, the criteria of the creamy layer was recommended first time by the Supreme Court in a Mandal case. And that is implemented throughout the country, no doubt about it. With regard to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, the criteria of the creamy layer was also ruled in some of the judgments in the minority judgments up to General Singh judgment of 2018. But that was not accepted by the government of India also. Now in this judgment, 3 or 4 judges have recommended, they have expressed their opinion, but it is not the ruling of this court. It's not a ruling of this 7 judges bench. And therefore, the application of a creamy layer principle is left open despite the present verdict. Because there is no categorical ruling on this issue.
Okay, so I'll ask Guru Prakash. Yeah, let Guru Prakash come in because what is the BJP's position?
One quick response. If he's saying let's not go by the observations and the ruling, one of the justices also observed that in ancient India there was no caste system, but people were categorized as per their occupations. But the Congress harps on to this agenda that people are divided on caste, not on occupation. So by Dr. Mane's logic, if we are to go by the logic of the Supreme Court, then Congress's entire agenda on caste is absolutely flawed.
Guru Prakash, on the simple point about what will the government do from here on. There is a recommendation. Yes, the government has not announced anything yet, but certainly all eyes are on what is the government going to do as far as this recommendation is concerned.
Madhav, we are committed for the welfare of the last person in line. There is absolutely no doubt about that. But what we are missing, the grand picture here, is that the Congress party tried it long back. What was Rangnath Mishra Commission? What was Sachar Committee? दलितों के आरक्षण को चुपके से मुसलमानों को दे दो. This was the strategy of the Congress party. This is a evil design, not today, but from years. Congress party in the quest of minority appeasement. In the quest of minority appeasement, Congress party has always tried to distribute the reservation of SC, ST and OBC. This is the real face of the Congress party. Congress Prime Minister Manmohan Singh says publicly, देश के संसाधनों पे पहला हक मुसलमानों का है. आपने कहा होता दलितों का है, OBC का है, आदिवासी का तो स्वीकार किया होता हमने. But your quest for this blind minority appeasement, this is not the first time. This is not the first time that the Congress party is doing so. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi...
It's not the first time, says Guru Prakash. Let's take a quick look at what has been the historical position of the Congress party when it comes to such reservations. Let's quickly look at what really has happened. In 1953, the Nehru government set up the first Backward Classes Commission. The commission submitted its report in 1955. No action was taken at that point of time. Move on to 1978, when the Mandal Commission was constituted by the Morarji government. Moving on to the results as far as the commission is concerned, it was in 1980 that the commission recommended 27% reservation for OBCs. No action was taken by the subsequent Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi governments. They chose not to act on it. And VP Singh, who later was the Prime Minister following Rajiv Gandhi, quoted in his biography, Manzil se zyada safar in 2006, and he said that the Congress was least concerned with social equations and changes. That's the statement of the former Prime Minister, also saying that Congress leaders are obsessed only with power equations, and of course the comparison there to social equations. Tehseen, I want you to respond to this point because this is the point repeatedly being made by the BJP that Congress has ignored this for decades and is now waking up for political considerations on the same.
When you have nothing in a debate of substance, and so far my fellow panelists will agree that they have nothing in a debate of substance, all they can do is rake up the past. Fact is the Congress conducted a caste census. Fact is the BJP opposed it. Fact is that the BJP said, look, we will release it. Fact is it's not been released. These are the only facts that matter. Everything else that went in the past is not there. If you want to go in the past, if you... Sir,
okay, let him I've asked him a question. You can respond.
I will answer every question. After a long time, I will not back out. I'll speak out every issue, please.
Karnataka.
Including on Karnataka, please. And first of all, it's not a census, it's a survey. But let me come on that. There's a difference and I'll explain that. But let me explain that. First of all, the only thing is Nehru, Indira, Rajiv. They have nothing to do with the present. That's point number one. Point number two. Now let's come to the issue of the RSS, which continuously not just oppose it. Mohan Bhagwat, and I quote Times of India, in 2015 and 2019 said caste reservation should be done away with. The RSS has never had a Dalit or an OBC chief. Never. The BJP has had one Dalit president, that's all. They will never have one. Every time we speak of social justice, be it Rahul ji, Akhilesh ji, Tejasvi ji, or us small people here, we will be heckled because they don't want social justice. Now let's come to the issue. The RSS has never had a Dalit or an OBC president. Never had one. No chance of them having one. I dare them to have it next. They won't have it. Now let's come to the next point out here. Apart from the RSS opposing it, Mohan Bhagwat ji opposing it, the fact is the BJP today takes credit for the caste survey released in Bihar, which was released by Nitish ji and Tejasvi ji, lied on national TV.
Okay.
Why aren't the recommendations today being implemented by the state?
Okay.
Why aren't they? Do it right now.
Shantanu. I want Shantanu to respond because he was raising some points. Shantanu, quick response.
I think the discussion that we were having towards the end, that what after caste census, I think that's very consequential. Will we go against the 9-judge judgment that the reservation cannot go beyond 50%? Because Congress have shown, because they have no sympathy toward caste census, right? In Telangana, in Karnataka and Himachal, their chief secretaries are or upper caste. When P. Chidambaram or Pranab Mukherjee were finance minister, their whole finance ministry, there were no Dalit, there were OBC. So they will not do it, but they will point out to you, right? So I think their consequence for that, ki inko Hinduo ko bato. I will create caste consciousness in the Hindu community so that I will get the vote. Khatakat chal gaya. Reservation, Samvidhan chala jayega, chal gaya. Reservation chala jayega, chal gaya.
Let me put that
they
question.
are only having political consideration. Rahul Gandhi have no whatsoever has consideration towards the caste person.
Okay, but I want Tehseen, once again, I want Tehseen to answer this point.
Karnataka did not answer
one second. I'm asking that question as well. Tehseen, the point being made here repeatedly by BJP and the panelists supporting BJP is that you want to divide the Hindu votes, which have been united for the first time under this Prime Minister, and that's something that he has done. The point being made over here is that if you're so serious about it, why not release it in Karnataka? You're in power there.
At the peak of BJP's power, at the peak of it, it did not get more than 40% Hindu votes. What is this, the Hindu votes?
Why Karnataka?
Consolidation.
This is not fair. Really not fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Really not fair. I will answer Karnataka. I have to answer Karnataka. It is at the peak of the BJP's performance. This is 2014 and 19. They didn't get more than 40% Hindu votes. My wife is a Hindu. She didn't vote BJP. No, Hindus don't vote. The majority of Hindus. Now, number one. So there is no consolidation. They think there's consolidation. If there was consolidation of Hindu votes, a Dalit would have been an RSS chief. It's not happening. An OBC would have been an RSS chief. Now let's come to the issue at Karnataka. Let's take the bull by the horns. Let's take the bull by the horns. The fact of the matter is Karnataka was a survey. The survey had economic reasons as well, just like the Bihar survey had economic reasons, which by the way found out that many people from the forward community are poor. The data, when it came out, came the code of conduct. Since then has been submitted in the cabinet. The cabinet then passed a resolution to get the errors removed and to have it released. That has already been done in the cabinet. Now the errors have to be released. It's gone back to Mr. Hegde. One second, just a second, please. Please let the viewers hear it. Let the viewers hear it because it's been asked. A caste survey, once done, because it had economic data as well, has gone to the cabinet, which says send it, get the errors out, and then we have to take the call on releasing it. It has gone to the cabinet. Now I am asking, they have a data, the caste census.
This is exactly the point. One second. You are saying this. Tehseen, the central government has also repeatedly said that there are errors that we want to rectify. So the same argument applies to Karnataka. If you are criticizing them for doing it, then you have to also take the same criticism.
Except this was given in 1st March 2024. It's already gone in cabinet. That was in 2011. Where has it gone in Modi ji's cabinet? Show me when it's gone. This is the line that they have got.
One second. You asked a question. Tushar.
Tehseen is getting too agitated saying do not invoke Nehru, Indira or Rajiv.
No, I'm saying
2009, a Congress leader says, I do not believe in the caste system. I only believe that the difference between the rich and the poor is that of opportunities. Who was that leader? Rahul Gandhi, 2009, 15 years ago. What changed between 2009 and 2024? Rahul Gandhi's Congress was routed thrice in the Lok Sabha elections because of a consolidation of the Hindu vote that Tehseen disagrees with. If the consolidation of the vote was for the Congress, they would have at least got 100 seats in one of those 3 elections. So, Madhav, we need to understand this entire caste census, the way Congress is approaching it, is with a political filter to divide the Hindus. It has nothing about economic justice. It has nothing about
social justice. Let me bring in the last
justice.
data point and then we can continue on this debate. Quickly, if you can bring on screen what has happened as far as the last few Lok Sabha elections are concerned. We need to look at which way the OBC vote has been split. And this is the data from 2024, right beginning from 2004. Look at the data over here. It's very interesting to see how it's changed. The regional parties getting a bulk of it 20 years ago at 43%. 23 and 24%, the Congress and BJP almost even Stevens there. Move on to 2009, the gap is almost the same, it hasn't drastically changed. 2014 is where things get shaken up drastically, where this number of the regional parties stays at 43, but the shift, about 10% shift happening there from the Congress and allies to the BJP and allies at 34%, the Congress at 15%. In 2019 again, it's a similar sort of pattern that we're looking at, but this time, look at the regional parties, they've also been hit in the OBC vote, and again another bump of a roughly 10% that we see over there as well. That's as far as the data in 2019 is concerned. In 2024, the Congress has made up some ground. It has increased to 19% from 15%. The BJP and allies steady at 44%. And here, once again, the regional parties hit from 27% to 20%. This is the crux of why the OBC vote appears to be so important for all political parties. And Tehseen, ultimately, I'm going to bring you in on this as well. Tehseen, ultimately, this is why the fight is on for the OBC vote in the caste survey, is it not?
No, the fight is on to give people justice. And he quoted Rahul Gandhi. Just allow me. Yes, I do not believe in the caste system is a positive statement. No, I will clean your house because you entered my house is a negative statement. I cannot believe in the caste census, the caste system, but believe that there are people who've been discriminated against, like Uttar Pradesh, maybe Karnataka, Telangana, Central University, State University, and therefore I have to do a survey and a census to give them justice. That is dramatically different from saying I will not discriminate against you because I don't believe in this discrimination. They are two separate things, and it's only for the BJP with a mindset that is upper caste that won't understand this.
Okay.
Theory will only get us so far. You put on the numbers. One interesting trend. Congress since 2014 has been running this agenda. 2014, that the BJP is against the backward caste or the reserve caste. The OBC vote has stuck with the BJP. It's only increased 10 percentage points between 2014 and 24. Whereas the Congress, a mere 4 percentage point increase in 24, and that is also because of the regional partners that came with them, where they got the benefit. Even the OBC voters, we talked about this in December also, Madhav, when the Madhya Pradesh elections were on, that for all jitni abadi utna hak, Rahul Gandhi keeps chanting, the OBC community does not believe him. The people on the ground, given the last 10 years of the Labharthi vote, do not buy into the Congress's narrative. The way they see economic inequality, the way they see equity, the way they see social backwardness. The Congress is only harping around, but the vote is very strongly with the BJP.
Kind of broken down the caste divisions that existed. That's his argument. Respond to him.
It has not broken at all. The fact of the matter is that the rise of the percentage is primarily because the idea of India, which is incorporated in the Constitution, has been defeated, and the aggressive Hindutva was followed after 2014, and that is the reason why you see the rise of the OBC first. And the second thing, I want to respond to the BJP hypocrisy on caste census. In Parliament, they say we don't want a caste census. When our member of Parliament, Manoj Jha, asked a question in the Parliament, then what about 9th schedule? Will BJP include 9th schedule, so that there should be a protection of the reservation? The answer is very, very surprising.
Guru Prakash.
No, the answer is says that the 9th schedule is...
It's a hypocrisy. You made this point earlier.
Is under the purview of the state government. How
hypocrisy at the state and central level. Guru Prakash, direct question from RJD spokesperson.
Respond. BJP.
Guru Prakash, respond.
Right from the beginning.
1 second.
Let me first respond to my friend Tehseen Poonawalla. Tehseen was playing a victim card saying Pasmanda Muslim. Tehseen, give me 5 names of Pasmanda Muslim leaders in Congress party today. You won't be able to. Because koi hai hi nahi. Pasmanda Muslim victim card khel rahe ho. You don't have one single leader from the Congress party who comes from the Pasmanda Muslim community. Give me one name. This is exactly the hypocrisy of the Congress party. बात करेंगे दलित आदिवासी की, कौन दलित है? कोई है ही नहीं. You give me one name of an आदिवासी female leader from the Congress party, कोई नहीं बता पाओगे आप. This is the true face. This is the true feudalism of the Congress party. Let me make this very clear to you, Madhav. Congress party wants Dalit, Adivasi and OBC only for their vote bank exclusively.
Okay.
were raising question on the RSS. RSS के सरसंघचालक दलित है कि नहीं? अरे RSS ने देश का सरसंघचालक दलित बना दिया, RSS ने देश का सरसंघचालक आदिवासी बना दिया, तो RSS के सरसंघचालक का तो पॉइंट छोड़ दो. Don't play in this rhetorical argument, Tehseen. I want to tell you this very categorically. It is because of the RSS, it is because of the Bharatiya Janata Party that NCBC gets a constitutional status. It is because of the Bharatiya Janata Party that IIT, IIM, NEET, AIMS, students from the backward communities, students from the SC/ST communities are getting the samman, are getting the respect, are getting the recognition. And the Congress Party historically, structurally, systematically, in the quest of minority appeasement, have always ignored the aspirations of the Dalit, Adivasi and OBC communities. So please don't fool around. You are now exposed in front of the marginalized, in front of the vanchit and the Hashya Varg of the Samaj.
Right. As the debate draws to a close, I want to just point out that several government committees have repeatedly pointed out that when it comes to education, there's not just discrimination on campuses, but also various deprived communities, whether we're talking about SCs, STs, OBCs, have also received poor representation as far as higher education in premier institutes is concerned. That's all on record. It's all part of government data, and therefore this continues to be a very serious issue. Why no resolution, no consensus has been found remains very important. Beyond party politics, it's a very, very real and very important social issue. We certainly hope that it comes to a resolution at the earliest. On that note, Guru Prakash, Tushar Gupta, Shantanu Gupta, Dr. Suresh Mane, Professor Subodh Mehta, Vivek Sailas, Tehseen Poonawalla, thanks so much for joining us on this edition of the National Debate.